Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome. In this video, I'm going to be discussing why I regret one of my tattoos, which is the biggest tattoo that I've gotten thus far. And I got this tattoo at 22 years old and I'm 24 years old now. And over the past year, I've really despised this tattoo. And I just want to share my experience and make sure that if there are other people out there around my age with tattoos that they just don't resonate with anymore, or they just simply don't like on their bodies, that you're not alone. And I just wanted to share my experience and give some insight if you are younger, thinking of getting tattoos soon, and just some things to keep in mind through this whole process. What inspired me to get tattoos in the first place was just me liking how they looked on other people. I always thought people looked so cool with them, and I always thought I would have tattoos when I was younger. My cousin was already doing tattoos on themselves. I was really interested in getting my very first tattoo, but I was a little bit nervous for the actual tattoo gun. So when I was over their house one time, I ended up getting a snow globe and I ended up getting a heart on my hip, and I instantly got the bug for tattoos after getting my stick and pokes done. Once I got those done, I ended up booking an appointment with a woman that I found from Instagram, and she was local to my area. So I ended up booking and getting my very first real tattoo with her that same summer during the pandemic. My very first tattoo was of a butterfly on my left shoulder. I will insert photos of all of my tattoos throughout this video, and I love this one so much. I still love it to this day. It was a really great first tattoo experience. I was actually watching the TV show Wipeout on the TV that was at the tattoo shop. And I love Wipeout. And I actually was thinking to myself, I'd rather be getting this tattoo than be on Wipeout getting like punched in the face or like falling off of these like gigantic balls. If you know the show, then you know that it's a pretty hardcore show. So watching that was like really nice for my brain to just kind of like, okay, no, like tattoos do not hurt me. And I felt actually pretty comfortable and excited while getting the tattoo. Once I went through that very first experience of getting the butterfly on my left arm, I was kind of like, wow, I thought this was going to be way more painful than what it actually was. Like, people really built this up in my mind to be like, this is going to be excruciating pain and like you're not going to be able to handle it kind of thing. And I was like, this is easy. Like, I actually enjoy this. Once that first experience happened, I was like, oh, I want a million tattoos all over my body. At the time, I really liked how I just looked with the butterfly on my arm. And I was like, you know what? I definitely want to get more. But I was like, I think I don't want to get anything on my arms yet because I really like how this butterfly looks. I'm going to just go and get tattoos on my legs from now on. It wasn't fully conscious like that, but it was kind of like, I like the way that my arms look. And if I were to get any other tattoos, I'd want to get more butterflies on my left arm. But my right arm, I was thinking to myself, maybe I want a sleeve one day. But I was just like, let me keep it bare. Let me keep my left arm and my right arm bare. And let me just focus on maybe getting some leg tattoos. So then I booked an appointment a year after, and with the same person, because I really liked her work and I really liked how it felt. So I was like, let me stick with the same person. And I booked an appointment to get a tattoo of Tom Nook on my right leg. I grew up playing Animal Crossing. This was like the one that actually had some sort of meaning. The butterfly didn't have too much meaning besides the fact that the butterfly was of a design by one of my favorite artists named Ellie Paisley, because the butterfly actually has an eye in the middle of it. I forgot to mention this. So my butterfly tattoo isn't just a normal butterfly tattoo. It has an eye in the middle. So it's like butterfly, EYE at the end. And I absolutely love Ellie Paisley's work. Shout out Ellie Paisley. I love you so much. So the butterfly eye tattoo kind of had some sort of sentimental meaning because I loved the artist. But other than that, it wasn't anything that I hold near and dear to my heart. But Tom Nook, I played Animal Crossing with my parents growing up all the time. I probably clocked in at least like 40 hours a week on that game. I would miss assignments to do that game, you know. I'd be fishing all day. I would be upgrading my house. I dealt with Tom Nook a lot in my childhood. And I was like, why not commemorate this landlord by getting him tattooed on me? And my parents absolutely loved this tattoo. They were like a little bit nervous with me getting tattoos in the first place. Obviously, parents aren't too excited about tattoos in general, but my parents were like, oh no, this is really cute because it does have meaning to us and as a family. So I love Mr. Tom Nook on my leg, and she did an amazing job at it. And I just absolutely love the way that one came out. At this point, I had the 2 stick and pokes, the butterfly on my left arm and Tom Nook on my right leg. And I really liked the way I looked, but I was like, you know what? It would be really cool if I could get another tattoo on my left leg to even things out because I like symmetry. And I'm kind of representing the tattoo in what I'm wearing today, which is of a mushroom. It's like a mushroom sweatshirt. So I ended up going to the Philadelphia Tattoo Convention with my bestie, Jay. What's up, Jay, if you're watching? We went just to browse around and just feel out the vibes because it was our first time there. And this was like our first major outing in 2021 since the pandemic had happened. This was, I believe, September of 2021. And we had a really great time. There's so many booths open. There's so many people there and amazing artists, things like that. So, you're kind of overwhelmed with how much art and how many cool tattoos are there, how many cool artists there are there. I was really excited, but I wasn't going into it with the plan of getting a tattoo. It ended up just happening. That will be coming up again later in this video where it was kind of a spontaneous tattoo decision. But anyway, I had been kind of interested in mushrooms at the time, mushrooms and also the medicinal mushrooms. So I had been like a little bit of a mushroom girl. I think I had grown my own mushroom by this time. I grew lion's mane from a kit and I was like really involved with mushrooms. To commemorate my love for them, I ended up getting one of my favorite tattoos. I believe this and Tom Nook, the mushroom tattoo and Tom Nook, are my favorite tattoos so far. I love them so much. She just did such a fantastic job on this. Again, it was like pain-free. I loved how it felt. Actually, so weird to say, but there's such a exhilarating part of getting a tattoo that I love the most. And I'm not weirded out by the pain of a tattoo at all. I'm actually really excited when it's happening because I'm like, yes, more art on my body, And I absolutely love this tattoo. It came out so good and I love the way it looks on my leg. And yeah, it was a great experience. So at this point, I had the stick and pokes, the butterfly on my left arm, Tom Nook on my right leg, and the mushrooms on my left leg. And I really liked the way I looked at this point. And, obviously I still wanted more tattoos because all of my experiences had been positive up to this point. So it was just like a no-brainer to, keep getting them. And I will say tattoos are so pricey. Right? And there was a point where I did not have the money for them. After I got the mushrooms, I was like, okay, I'm spending too much money. I have to tip the artists, a fair amount, right? And, it's just a lot of keep up. You have to get good creams for it, and you have to make sure that you don't go into a bath for X amount of time. Don't go in the sun for them. I mean, I kept getting my tattoos in the summer, which was so silly of me. But it was when the creative juices were flowing in my brain to get them. And it's also when I had the most money because I am a wedding singer and that's busy season. So I would have weddings throughout the summer and have more money for tattoos. I digress. It became a little bit too expensive for me. So I waited a whole year until I got my next tattoo. Okay. Wildwood 2022. I went with my bestie Jay again. Hi, Jay. And we drove down to Wildwood and I did not expect to get a tattoo during this. Again, we just went as consumers of good art and just for the fun of it because tattoo conventions are so fun, even if you don't go and get a tattoo, because you get to not only meet new people, meet new artists. There are other vendors there as well that sell their art, like posters, tapestries. There are people that do piercings, so you can get a piercing instead of a tattoo. You can literally get anything there. There are jewelry vendors, really cool shows. I didn't have any intention of getting a tattoo. I didn't even know any of the artists. I didn't know what to get, but I did have the money for a tattoo just in case I felt spontaneous again. And that's what I did. And I regret the tattoo that I got at the Wildwood Tattoo Convention when I was 22. Let's get into why I regret this tattoo. I found an artist that did similar work as the artist that did my mushroom tattoo. really trippy, really cool art. She had mushrooms too. She had lava lamps. She had jellyfish. And I really liked how her art looked on paper in her book when I was flipping through the book, right? I noticed something odd. She didn't have a lot of pictures of her art on people, which can be okay, but I do think that was a little bit of a red flag because her art looked just so beautiful on paper that I was like, yes, yes, yes. But I don't even think I checked her Instagram to see what it looked like on a person, which was totally my fault. So I ended up asking her if she would be down to do a jellyfish inside of a lava lamp because I was really into the trippy kind of art. I still am into trippy art. So I was really excited about this psychedelic tattoo. She was really down for it. She was like, if you come back in about 45 minutes, I will draw you a sketch. No pressure to get it, but like, I'm going to draw this for you. Come back and tell me if you would like to get it. I went, okay, I'll be back. So I think me and Jay just had a snack outside. We could see the beach. And I had, a gut feeling of like, just get the tattoo, just get it. I didn't even see it yet, but I was just like really excited. I was like, you drove all the way down here 2 hours away from Philly to get this tattoo. Might as well just get it. And I just went with my gut. I went back to the booth. I saw the tattoo and I said, it looked great. It looked exactly what I had in my head. So I sit down in the chair and she starts tattooing me. And boy, did this hurt more than any other tattoo I had gotten thus far. It was on a different part of the leg. So I will say that it was on the inside of my leg and both of the other tattoos on my leg I had on the outside. And with my arm, I've never had a tattoo done on the inside of my arm, just on the outside. So I was like, you know what? Maybe it's just because it's a new part of the body. I'm not used to it. It's softer skin. But I was like gripping on to my own hand. I was holding on to things. I was trying to distract myself by going on my phone, but nothing was working. The pain was so unbearable. But she did the outline and the outline looked good. The outline looked fine. Was still kind of like, but I didn't say anything. It just didn't look like what I had expected it to look like. Okay. Now she starts doing the color to the tattoo. And low key, I kind of felt like she was rushing. Not only was the tattoo convention closing soon, this was the very last day of the tattoo convention. So her family started like slowly taking down her booth while I was there. People are packing up their things, taking down their canopies. And I'm like, oh my God, like, is she rushing because she has to be done by a certain time? Like, I'm looking around like, I don't even know if any other people are getting tattoos right now. I think everybody's closing their shop. And this lady was from Florida. So there's like no way I could ever get in contact with her because I would have to fly down, get a hotel to fix or finish this tattoo. Like I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, I think she's low-key rushing. I feel just a little uncomfortable with how I'm seeing it turn out. Well, 2 hours goes by and now she's done the tattoo. And I'm looking at it and I can feel just like this pit in my stomach of like, I'm not happy with it, but it is what it is. Like I got this tattoo. I consented to this tattoo. I bought this tattoo. Like I'm going to pay her and I'm going to tip her and I'm not going to even say anything because, it's my doing. But man, I felt so like, ugh, in my stomach after getting this tattoo. And when you get a tattoo afterwards, there's a lot of like ink that drips and a lot of actual blood that is kind of pouring, like, I don't want to say pouring out, but it's dripping out. So when you have a cover on the tattoo, it creates like this inky blob at the end. But she took a photo of it and I kept looking back at this photo, the photo that she took out right after it was done. And I was kind of like, oh, I don't really like this tattoo. It's definitely not my favorite. And I knew that immediately after getting it, but I was kind of just coming to terms with it, trying to make the best of it. Like, yeah, it's a trippy looking lava lamp jellyfish tattoo. Whatever, So on the drive home, Jay and I are just trying to make the best of it. Like, yeah, it looks cool. And I'm like trying to stay positive. But in my head, I'm like, I really don't like this tattoo at all. So my feelings with the tattoo, I started to be okay with it pretty soon after. Once it was healed, I was kind of like, okay, it looks fine. And I kind of kept with that mentality, like, whatever, the tattoo looks fine. It's okay. For like the first year and a half after. But in this past year, I had really started to hate the way this tattoo looks. And I'm so not a fan of it to the point of looking up how to get a tattoo removed, the pricing of it. Will the tattoo still be there after it's removed? And my skin is so pale, so white that, yeah, I'm going to still see this tattoo even if I try and get it removed. So getting it removed is really not an option at this point. Getting it fixed is probably going to be more likely what I want to get done with this. So I think one day I'm going to actually end up contacting a really amazing artist and trying to get it fixed back to a point of where I actually like it. What I don't like about the tattoo is a lot. I like the outline of the lava lamp. I like the swirls in the back, but what I really don't like is the inside of this lava lamp where the gradient of pink doesn't go all the way down. And the blobs for the lava lamp part look like beans. And I don't like the jellyfish. It doesn't look right to me. And you might look at this tattoo and obviously love it. You know, you might think this is the best tattoo ever and be contacting me for this artist. You know, we all have different opinions on what art we resonate with, and I just don't resonate with this art, and I would love for it to be off of my body completely. It's the first tattoo a lot of people see if my legs are being shown, especially in the summertime where I don't, have pants on, I wear shorts, and people always point to it and go, "Oh, that's a nice tattoo." It's really sweet of them, but I actually do think it's because it's like the biggest one. I mean, they could actually end up really liking this tattoo, but I personally would love for it to have never been on my body, and I don't like it at all, and I wish I never got this tattoo. So yeah. How do I cope seeing this tattoo in photos? I typically, not going to lie to you guys, try and crop my photos to where you can't see it. Like, that's how I feel about this tattoo. I choose to wear black stockings in the wintertime if I'm wearing a dress. It's still kind of like, kind of disheartening to be living with something that just doesn't feel right and something I don't resonate with at all. Because there's no sentimental value about this tattoo. It was just something that I thought would look cool. It's not like I have an extensive lava lamp collections. It's not like I ever owned a jellyfish. I just wanted something trippy and fun on my body, and I ended up hating it. If I can give advice to anybody, it would be do your research on the tattoo artists that you'd want to be tattooing your body. Even if you're at a convention, try and go on their Instagram and see if they've posted about any other person getting a tattoo and not just pictures of their art on paper. Take time to think through spontaneous decisions. I sound like a parent, but really take your time to think about what you're doing. Here's some encouragement to anybody that regrets their tattoo. It's okay to not love every tattoo you get. Focus on just loving your body as a whole and how it functions for you and how it keeps you healthy. And just don't be too hard on yourself if you've had a tattoo or gotten a tattoo that you just don't like. I'm still trying to work through how I feel about this tattoo, laying my thoughts to rest, just being thankful for the life I've been given, the ability to even get tattoos in the first place, right? Because they're pricey and some people would love tattoos and are never able to afford them. There are bigger problems in the world than just regretting tattoos, but people's problems are valid and everybody goes through different amounts of suffering and, just trying to overcome these champagne problems. I hope sharing my feelings about this topic makes other people feel not as alone or a little bit more insightful when getting a tattoo, especially at something like a convention where there's a time crunch and where there are plethora of artists that you don't know and haven't done your research on and haven't seen tattoos on other people's bodies. Just hope that this helps somebody. While tattoos are permanent, our feelings can evolve. They teach us something about ourselves that we didn't know. Just want to end on a more positive note because it is kind of a negative topic to be talking about, which is okay. I embrace negativity and try and keep things slightly lighthearted in that regard. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, and comment your experience if you've ever gotten a tattoo that you hate, or if you are thinking of getting a tattoo, how this makes you feel, and if you have any insight, if you've grown up with a tattoo that you regret, or if you've ever gotten a tattoo removed, just comment down below. Even if you have nothing to add, please just say hi. I want to talk to you guys. Stream my music. It's out everywhere. I will link everything down below. Follow me on my Instagram at Brooke Falls. All of my links in the description. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, you guys. Love you all so much and have a great rest of your day. Bye.